So, it is April, but I will be talking about my January to March favorites. Okay, so it's not going to be chronological order. I also probably have recency bias, and I'll probably forget things that were favorites of mine in January. But I'm gonna try to talk about them in like categories. But let's start. We're gonna start with makeup because, well, duh, duh. Um, I want to say lippies are always a huge part of everything that I ever do, ever. So my two favorite lippies are these two. The first one is the e.l.f. Almost lipstick in the shade Black Honey, which is, if you guys are on TikTok a lot, like it was trending, I think last year, but I didn't really hop on until this year because the price is kind of a little bit pricey, um, especially for like a non lipstick. But I love it. It's super buttery, velvety. It lasts me pretty well. Um, the only thing is that like sometimes I taste it and it's not a good taste, but that might be user error. And overall, I love it. The applicator itself is like, wow, like awesome, awesome and epic. Um, yeah, that's the shade. Moving on. Um, actually. Okay, moving on. Next lippy that is part of like this combo that I have right now is the um Edam, Edam in shade Fig Sauce. And it's like a lip softening balm is what it says. But no, this one's also super buttery. The applicator itself is metal, so it's super cooling on the lips. Love it. I usually do these two because the shades like go well with each other. Um, but it's freaking epic. And shout out to Miss Catherine because she's the one who bought it for me for my birthday. But I will be buying her again because I probably can't live without her anymore. And then last for makeup is, and I usually don't ever try new makeup because even though these two are like completely new, but basically I don't try new brands that often, contrary to popular belief. But this next one is also a new brand. Um, it's House of Her, which is a K beauty brand, I believe. And I hadn't heard of it before I saw this in stories, but it's the Moist Ampuly blusher in 05 Peach Coral. But the applicator for this one, I hope there's ASMR. The applicator for this one is also very like weird, IMO. But I love it so much. You just put a little dab and it feels like you're putting water on your face, but it's like not water. So it's like cooling and also it like the color is so good and it lasts. And I don't think you can see it on this camera, but it's there. But yeah, these three makeup faves. Scent right now, it's Prima Mason Japanese. I don't really know, but I bought it from Shibuya. Um and it was like very inexpensive. Like sorry, very inexpensive. But the scent is like very clean. Yeah, it reminds me of like a clean bath. I don't know, but I've been using this like every day, and that's like my handheld bag perfume because it's small and it fits in my bag. Yeah. Okay, and then also not perfumes but scents are these two candles that I got from World Market. I believe. Um, I'm a sucker for packaging, and these two remind me of like apothecary medicine holders or whatever. But sorry, this one's milk and honey. This is milk and honey. It smells like honey. It's awesome. This one's, oh, I'm gonna pronounce this wrong. Bergamot and clary sage. This one smells like sweet. Well, obviously, whatever bergamot is. I don't know what it is. No, it smells like sweet, but then like a hint of sage, which I like the smell of sage. And yeah, I love my Okay, and then for fashion items, um, well, I'm kind of wearing my favorite combo right now, but like these brandy sweats, yeah, I don't know if you can see that, and then the sweat tennis skirt. That's like one of my favorite purchases, and they're like so basic, but like genuinely one of my favorite purchases of clothing this year so far. And then I also have this scarf, also from Brandy. These I just wear it like, hold on, like like it's like it's giving a lot, and I regret not buying more patterns of this. Which, speaking of which, speaking of which, polka dots are so in right now. I don't think they're timeless, but and I think that they will be out soon. So polka dot it up as much as you can because I fear it'll be leaving soon. But I do love polka dots right now. I love anything polka dot. Probably why I love this scarf. But yeah, that's something. That's something. And moving on to headbands. Headbands when not working out. I don't want to wear this right now because it's gonna mess up my hair, but I love them. Um, wear more headbands. Yeah, and then oh my god, one of my best purchases of all time. These what are they called? What are they called? Not what are they called? Khakis, but they're not khakis. Just the built of the khakis, but army print strings attached. Well, I have to buy it. It was pretty expensive. It's from Princess Polly, and I don't usually buy from Princess Polly, but um, I don't regret it. It's epic. I will be looking at Princess Polly more often. Um, yeah. I also have miscellaneous items. I think some of my favorites are I Bloom Squishies, which is a Japanese brand, and they have a website, but shipping is atrocious. So people usually buy on eBay. So this was obviously given to me by my boyfriend, but he's a fave. He is a fave. Um, something about I Bloom Squishies. Next is I only began collecting these like beginning of January, so I think it's okay to say. But the brand Nyota, I believe is how you say it. Um Potmar brand. This is what they look like. Here's some. Here's some more. This one even lights up. I have to take her off, but this one lights up. No, I have a lot of them already. I still have more Hironos, but they're Nyotas are growing a lot. Pimentos are growing a lot, and I love them. And I will be you had forget. Okay. Well, some of my other favorites that aren't physical are one, meal plates, and two, Pilates. I'll meal plate pictures around me right now. But basically, super into like grabbing whatever's in the fridge and just chopping them up and putting them on a plate because it makes me feel like I'm actually doing something in the kitchen, and like actually preparing my food and like putting thought into my food. And then it makes me enjoy it more. And also, I feel like it's more filling when you're eating a lot of different things. I think the part of like putting it all together and like making it look nice also just makes it more fun to eat. And it's always better when it's more fun to eat. So yeah, that's a huge thing that like just introduced into my life this year. And then I also want to talk about Pilates because that's a more recent thing. But I use ClassPass, which is an app. But highly recommend Pilates to people who like working out in a setting where you're being told what to do constantly and being monitored, which isn't everyone's thing. So, you know, totally cool if it's not. But Pilates, as well as journaling, um, days, even when nothing is on your mind. I feel like it helps you journal more consistently and also makes your journal filled with like more positive everyday things instead of like intense feelings and emotions, because obviously you want to journal when you're like holding on to these heavy feelings, but I feel like journaling even when nothing has happened kind of helps you just be better at regulating your emotions. Yeah. Okay, so let's just get into some things that I can ramble about. But okay, so favorite movies of the year so far. I haven't watched a lot. Um, I have not watched a lot. Marty Supreme, Zootopia 2. I watched Twilight for the first time, and then over the last month was Project Hail Mary and the drama, which Boom and Boom are on my letterbox reviewed. But definitely Project Hail Mary is probably the best one I've seen this year so far. It was a 10 out of 10. I cried the whole time. I would love to make a video just about that movie, but I won't. The vibe of it was just awesome. Yeah. And then as for music, I had like obviously songs that I fixated on throughout the months. Like I probably change my favorite song like literally every week. However, I do think that I could safely say that January's favorite song was definitely Homewrecker by Somber for some reason. Not that it's a bad song and it's like crazy for me to think that, but like I'm when I mean that I listen to it almost every second, I almost I listen to it almost every second. And then for the month of February, that when Great Divide came out. Oh, okay, yes. Great Divide in February, which is Noah Khan's um second most recent single. Came out I think in April. Um his most recent single. Both of those obviously listen on repeat. That album comes out on April. Best believe um best believe I'll be talking about it. Best believe I'll be talking about it. Um and then so I haven't finished a book since summer, I think. With the last one being The Picture of Dorian Gray by Oscar Wilde, which was my first like self-willingly read classic. And it was really good. I didn't find it hard to understand like I thought was originally going to have trouble with. But it was really, really good. I think I'm not really gonna talk about it that much, but if I do end up reading more books this month, then I can make a book review about this. So keep in tune. Keep in tune. Stay in tune. Stay in tune. Okay, this is like okay. I'm allowed to talk about this because it's like my favorite hobby is like reading. Like I'm allowed to talk about this. Okay, so the two books that hopefully will bring me out of my slump is Vicious by V.E. Schwab. This has been on my TBR for a while, but I don't know why I just never decided to buy it. Um, it's always in the dark academia section of Barnes and Noble. You know how they always like categorize their books. Yeah, no, the plot seems interesting to me. It's I'll let you guys know how this is. And then the second one is Demon Copperhead by Barbara Kingsolver, which and I'm actually gonna turn that light off because it's bothering me. But the last concept being watching edits to the song by the Killers, All These Things I've Done. And adding on to that actually, another mm, song that you guys should be consuming and making edits of is 500 Miles by Peter, Mary, and Paul, I think is their artist name. Yeah, yeah. But that's basically it. I wish I had more, but that's kind of all. Yeah, otherwise I'd just be talking about random stuff. Like, otherwise I'd be talking about random stuff. And I have to, like, at least give some stuff, some substance worth watching. But yeah, that's it.